It was different, and his solo stuff. He became this philosopher king of the South, talking about mental health, racism, faith. He kind of evolved beyond Tony's fantasy by keeping it real, grounded.
Then you have someone like Jay-Z. He seemed to study Scarface on a whole different level.
Oh, for sure. Tons of references in his lyrics, interviews, videos, but for him, it seemed less about the literal crime.
More about the game.
Exactly. Survival, building an empire, but also betrayal, paranoia, the weight of being on top. A line, I'm like, Scarface sniffing cocaine, holding an M16C with the pen, I'm extreme. That says a lot about his artistic intensity.
And then there's Rick Ross. He basically became Tony Montana, or at least his public persona did.
Totally. Sampling Push It for his big hit, calling his album Port of Miami. He embraced the whole aesthetic.
The suits, the marble, the money, the danger.
Yeah.
It was all there. He crafted this image straight out of the movie's playbook.
Yeah, that image itself became huge. Tony's look, the white suit, red shirt, cigar.
That became the blueprint for the hip-hop mogul, didn't it?
Undeniably, it got absorbed right into hip-hop's visual language, album covers, murals on buildings, and definitely music videos.
You see it in 50 Cent's What Up Gangsta, Ross's Hustlin', Jay-Z's Big Pimpin', the neon lights, fast cars, mansions, the chaotic shootouts.
It's all there. The movie basically gave hip-hop a visual template for telling stories about the hustle, the rise, sometimes the fall.
And before everyone had cable or internet, Scarface really lived in the underground, right? Passed around on bootleg VHS tapes.
Oh, yeah. Barbershops, dorm rooms, street corners. Watching it was like a rite of passage for some people. A lesson in ambition, loyalty or disloyalty, and the dangers of the game.
Then DVDs came along in the early 2000s, and it got a whole new life, especially with trap artists.
Right. P.I., Jeezy, Gucci Mane, Future. They were all referencing it. Future's track, Tony Montana, in 2011 was huge.
Yeah, that brought Tony to a whole new generation.
It